Today we are at Gallows Gate. This was a place of public execution for this part of England for well over 1,000 years, and today we're going to tell you a little bit about the history of this part of the world. Gallows were places where people were publicly hanged. They were also sometimes left in iron cages, so the message could really get out to everybody: do not come into this old medieval community and cause any trouble. And that's one of the reasons why they were put on the outskirts of towns. The idea is if you were heading into the villages that would one day become Torquay, there would be a very visible presence of something that would say, if you're going to cause trouble, if you're going to commit crime, you will lose your life. So there was a gallows placed here, and people weren't just hung, they were hung in a very grisly way. They were hung in a sort of very slow way. It wasn't the old drop where that would break your neck. They were left here to be strangled, and the bodies would actually be left here. There was even a law that's saying that murderers were not allowed to be buried in consecrated ground, so they were left here until their bodies rot. And local legends said you do not come here at night. This is where the dead may rise from their graves and be a danger to humans. And there was also the idea that people excluded from the local villages for whatever would have lived in boundaries and areas between different parishes. This is an old Victorian gate, and it gives an idea of so many stories, so many folk tales actually grew up around gallows sites. First of all, gallows were known to be places that were haunted. So we've got an awful lot of sort of folklore that surrounds this kind of area. This particular gate is known for a legend of a man who stole a sheep. It's quite a common legend right across this part of the southwest of the country. The idea was he stole a sheep, and on his way back from stealing the sheep, he rested against this gate. There was a rope around the neck of the sheep. The sheep jumped over the fence, and the rope went around the sheep stealer's throat, strangled him. And it was a bit of a sort of a legend about even if the law didn't catch you, God would. There would be some kind of divine punishment. And so it's so there's an awful lot of these kind of legends that were attached to these sort of ancient medieval sites. In this lost and forgotten part of Torquay, many thousands of people may well have lost their lives at the end of a rope in this very quiet glade.